Good morning, Unity of Walnut Creek. We have Astra Fox here to lead us in our music. And we got Delilah and myself, Lisa. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing. And all the folks at home, you might want to rise at home.
Joy. with joy. I move forward with joy. Yes, everything changes with inspiration as my guide. Yes, everything changes when my passion is alive. I let love flow. I let everything go. I let love flow. I let love flow. I let everything go. I let love flow. I let love flow. I let everything go. I let love flow.
Well, good morning.
It's good morning.
Welcome to our Unity of Walnut Creek service. My name is Bob Hardy, and my new friend.
Hi, good morning. My name is Dana Schmidt, and welcome everybody to the service. Obviously, and you guys at home too.
We're glad you're with us. Thank you for joining us. All right, please join me in welcoming our featured musician today. Astra Fox is back. Yay! Joined by Tyler on keyboards, Dusty on bass, Larai on drums. Diane provided the wonderful prelude. Thank you, Diane. Lisa and Delilah are our Unity song leaders. Thank you for sharing your music with us today, everybody. You guys are awesome. Awesome. More to come, of course. And Astra will also have a merchandise table out on the patio after the service. If you'd like to visit with her out there, please feel free to do so.
And today, Reverend Christian will deliver today's message titled Step into Your Sageness, Ordinary Mystic Series, Part 4 of 7.
And before we begin, I invite you to turn your phones to airplane mode or silent to enjoy this sacred service and this fun time together.
And let's take a moment to be grateful for the land our center rests upon. This is the Bay, Miwok, and Ohlone land.
Right. And we honor the Bay, Miwok, and Ohlone people of today, and we are grateful for those who were stewards of this land before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision is for the world is, and let's say this together, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
And our mission is who we have come here to be. Let's say this one together. We are
A
a
loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all.
And our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
Can the ushers please come up? If you're with us for the first time today, welcome. And if you feel comfortable in doing so, please raise your hand so that we may give you a welcome pack. Do we have anybody new today? Oh, good. Welcome, please. And our ushers will offer you the welcome pack. And there's information about Unity. This welcome pack also includes a $10 coupon, which you can use to attend a class or other event at Unity. Welcome. We are so glad to have you here today. We invite you also, I forgot I had a lot to say, excuse me. We invite you also to visit our Welcome Center, the bookstore cafe, across the patio after the service, and you'll receive a little welcome gift, and hope you'll stay and visit with us.
All right. And then there are connection cards. Connection cards are available in the newcomer welcome packet and in the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
And you may also share feedback or request information. And please place your card in the basket with the offering. And for those viewing online, connection cards available on the Watch Live page at the website. We have several activities to highlight this week.
We do. The first one is, it's voting season at Unity. Mark your calendar for our annual meeting next Sunday, November 2nd. That's next Sunday. Lunch will be provided by your Board of Trustees after services in the community room. And then we'll gather back here in the sanctuary for our annual meeting at 1:45. We'll vote for new board members and nominating committee members and review the 2026 budget. View inspiring short videos and learn how you can be part of the visioning process for Unity's future. Members and non-members are welcome.
The holiday season is a sacred time to remember and celebrate the lives who have transitioned to the realm of spirit. Gathering with your spiritual family to find solace during our remembrance service on Saturday, November 8th at 6 p.m. This is a heartwarming event and will provide space for healing, honoring our ancestors, our descendants, and finding comfort with your spiritual family. The community altar in the sanctuary foyer is ready now. Please bring in your photos, mementos, or write messages on the hearts provided to honor your loved ones who have passed on.
Yeah, it's like an altar out there in the foyer, huh? And then after that, join us on Saturday, November 16th at 2 p.m.
Sunday.
The 16th is Sunday? Fantastic. All right, November 16th. Sunday afternoon. Who did the script anyway? Okay. For the final concert of our season, featuring acclaimed singer-songwriter Jamie Lula. Known for his beautiful blend of gospel, pop, and spirit-filled melodies, Jamie's music uplifts and inspires. Come experience his rich vocals and empowering lyrics in a heart-opening performance that celebrates love, beauty, positivity, and the transformative power of music. Pick up a flyer for more information, and you can visit the bookstore as well to register on our website.
This is a duplication.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Boop, boop, boop. You're here.
that's what I just read, though. It's the same thing.
Okay. Pick this one up here then.
Okay, sorry, little glitch there. The other thing we have on Saturday, November 22nd and Sunday, November 23rd, this is that very special thing. We're gathering for a powerful two-day workshop, the Alchemy of Healing and the Reconciliation in the Beloved Unity Community, led by Cynthia Bricks and William Keepin, co-authors of Gender Equality and Reconciliation International, Jerry, G-E-R-I.
Yes, they've been here before.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing them again here at the end of November. Together we'll embody unity through a sacred process in a safe, compassionate space. There will be honest sharing and witnessing around gender dynamics without shame or blame to help us move from pain and discomfort to understanding and wholeness. Registration is required through our website. Love offerings are welcome. A beloved community is the call of our times. Will you join us in helping to co-create it here? All right.
As we prepare for our time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We will begin with music followed by guided meditation and silence.
I am enough as I am, as I am. I am enough as I am, as I am. I am enough as I am, as I am. I am enough as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful. I release the pain that hides my heart away. I release the pain. I will make a change and find a better way. I will make a change. beautiful as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful. I am enough.
So let's breathe in those truths. I am enough. I am beautiful as I am. I invite you to move into a journey with me as we breathe into our heart space. You may have discovered before that there are little secret passageways, doors and windows to the heart. Let's allow one of those to open. And as we walk through, we walk out into a light-filled meadow. The sun is warm, the breeze is cool. Just notice as you walk toward the brook, you hear babbling through the shady trees. What you notice along the way. Maybe you'll hear the crunch of the leaves that have fallen in orange and yellow and red beneath your feet. The rustle of those leaves as the squirrels play nearby. Maybe you'll hear birdsong or more of the babbling of the creek as you get closer. Feel the breeze, sun, the shade. You might even notice some smells of cedar or pine. Let's take a seat next to this brook. Each of us in our own space. Alone yet never alone, because nature is alive all around us. And I invite you to look into the water there. It just happens to be a flat and calm space of water right where you're looking, like a mirror. There you behold your own face in the water. Can you look with soft eyes? Can you look with a sense of wonder and awe as you would at the wildlife around you, or the beautiful fall colors? Can you see yourself with fresh eyes, as if you haven't met before, or maybe as if you're greeting an old friend from long ago? Maybe you'll see in the reflection of those eyes a lifetime of experience, the depth of love. Passion to contribute or serve in some way. Can you look upon your reflection as you would maybe a revered teacher or a lover? Let your face relax. Let your eyes become pools of divine reflection. And human too. And as we move into a few moments of silence, you may want to still behold this reflection. See how it morphs as the water moves. See what you learn. You're looking through the eyes of your soul. Or perhaps you just want to sit still next to the water. Take a few moments in the silence together. Just taking one last gaze at your own face in this water. Giving thanks to yourself, to your soul, for reincarnating in this lifetime, for all the love and the light and the peace that you have both received and transmitted to others, for all that's yet to come. I invite you to tell yourself in that reflection, I am certainly enough. rising up from this place and walking slowly back through the golden meadow. Letting this image now just be breathed into your heart space. Walking back through the doorway in your heart. Feeling your feet on the ground here. Chair supporting your body. And when you are ready, coming back into this space. So it is.
I am enough as I am, as I am. I am enough as I am, as I am. I am enough as I am, as I am. I am enough as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful as I am. I am beautiful. I am enough. Oh, 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 I am the magic that I seek. The magic that I seek is the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the spark of alchemy, opening all doors, and my heart, it is the key. I am the magic that I seek. The magic that I seek is the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the spark of alchemy, opening all doors, and my heart, it is the key. I am the magic that I seek. The magic that I seek is the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the spark of alchemy, opening all doors, and my heart, it is the key. I walk the path to my heart. I sing the song of my soul, remembering my worth. I am the light, divinity. I walk the path to my heart. I sing the song of my soul, remembering my worth. I am the light, divinity. I am the magic that I seek. The magic that I seek is the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the spark of alchemy, opening all doors, and my heart, it is the key. I walk the path to my heart. I sing the song of my soul, remembering my worth. I am the light, divinity. I am the magic that I seek. The magic that I seek is the magic seeking me. I am the magic, the spark of alchemy, opening all doors, and my heart, it is the key.
You all did a little more magic in between services, didn't you? Beautiful. Thank you. Fun. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, we got a full house. And good morning, everybody who's online and outside. So good to be together, isn't it? Yeah. So if you're just joining us, or if you just need a little recap reminder, we are in a fall book study series called Ordinary Mysticism. The book is by Mirabai Starr. Some of you are doing study groups. Some of you are reading the book. Some of you are occasionally coming on Sundays. You know, we're all over the map here with this journey. But so today's the chapter that we're on is about transmission. But I want to actually first talk about the soul. And so often we hear these terms soul and spirit, and they're used interchangeably, and different people define them in different ways. So I just want to share my working definition so we're on the same page together. So to me, the spirit is the universally accessible thing that we all share, right? That we all share access to. We can access the spirit. We could call it spirit or divine presence or Christ consciousness or Holy Spirit. But it's that which we access through ourselves, around ourselves, and it's one and the same, that spirit. And then there's soul, and that's unique. That's different. Each of us has what I would call a spiritual imprint that is our soul. It's kind of our thumbprint, if you will, but in a spiritual sense. So while yes, we have unique personalities, it's a little deeper than that. You know, the personality is what shows up on the surface, but the soul generally is something we talk about as depth, right? And this work, the ordinary mystic's walk, is about taking that which is sometimes hidden even from us, that is deep in the recesses of our being, in bringing it out to the surface and living in that way that is soulful. So for an ordinary mystic, it's not about so much the spiritual journey as in transcendence, right? Transcending life. Coming into that big picture, that sort of heaven experience that we often talk about in spiritual circles, or enlightenment. It's more about, it could be that experience, but it's through the lived experience. It's through feet firmly on the ground. It's through earthy means. You know, getting our hands in the soil is one of the ways we might think of soulfulness. Or art may be another way that we think of soulfulness. Or community coming together and sharing from our hearts. These can be some of the ways that we access these more soulful experiences, or our own soul expression or soul experience. So, Mirabai talks about in this book, this passage about harvesting your soul garden. She says, to be a mystic is to harvest the bounty of your soul, your own soul garden. And this is a space, she says, that is both wild and tended. It is ever changing and likely to surprise you. Sometimes it is fecund and lush, and other times it is arid. So there's a lot in that, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about tending the soul and the lushness of the soul to begin. And that by tending, I don't mean necessarily taming. By tending, I don't necessarily mean not leaving it wild. I just mean a conscious recognition of, oh, here's my soul, and I'm going to nurture it, nourish it, care for it, interact with it, let it rise to the surface and be seen by me, at least, if not everybody else. And we'll get to that second piece, the transmission, a little bit later. But for now, let's talk about that lushness of the garden that she speaks of. When does the garden of your soul feel particularly lush? Music and dancing. Anybody else? What's that? Beauty, meditation, nature, humor, here, being here. Yeah, and community, right? That's a part of that, community. Yeah, and these are some of the things we talked about, I think, at the beginning of this series. You know, it also came up, nature, community, in a little bit different window, but kind of the same thing. These are some of the ways we access the truest part of ourselves. So let's look at it a little bit more. In nature, when we immerse ourselves in nature, something really incredible happens. Nature mirrors back our essence, our natural essence. If we really allow it, if we really, allow ourselves to pay attention, to move through nature with a sense of intention. Those are a couple of the stops we've been on along the way on this journey of ordinary mysticism. On Friday, a group of us had a play date as connected to our fall fundraiser, and we went out in nature and had an immersion. And we started with a group of us in circle, just sharing our intentions and kind of getting clear about, why we were going out. Why are we walking the land today? Why are we going out on earth today? Why have we carved out this day? What's happening in our lives that we'd like to bring to nature and maybe have nature reflect something back to us today? So as we were doing this, there was a constant familiar sound. You may have heard it in nature. It sounds like something like that. You heard that? Woodpecker, yes. You guys are good. You've been out there. And so as we're taking turns sharing, that's what the woodpeckers are doing, many of them. And Native Americans teach that when an animal crosses your path, it can sometimes be bringing you medicine, a message of sorts. And so lots of folks who do shamanic work or indigenous peoples have various ways that they express some of the symbols, that they've distilled some of the symbology of what animals bring. You've probably heard of this before, like spirit animals, totem animals, or medicine from nature and from animals. So I looked up what Bernadette King had to say. She is the creator of whatsmyspiritanimal.com. And she says the woodpecker's rapping stands out from all other sounds in nature and is easily recognizable. Woodpecker signals you to improve your communication skills and helps you to find your distinct voice while supporting clear, concise expression. So that is exactly what we were doing in our circle. That's exactly what the point. If I could have said, now everybody, this is the reason why we're doing this, it would have been that message. So then we have a second round in the circle, and the second round is to hone in a little bit more, to refine your intention a little bit more. So it's something that's kind of living, incorporated into you, like maybe it's a question or a statement I'm walking with now. And so as a second round of our circle continued, the woodpeckers continued, and Bernadette's message continues. By helping you refine, she says, the clarity of your message, it makes it easier for others to understand your signals, your subtle cues, your unspoken communication. So what a wonderful mirror for what we were up to right there, right? Along with the message that I looked up that Bernadette offered. So we can walk through nature and have these experiences and maybe have a dialogue with the woodpecker and say, hey, woodpecker, why are you here? What are you here to show me? Or we can just observe and see what comes for us as insight. Or we can use a guide to get a little bit more honed in, as I did in this case. So all of this is to say that there's a constant mirror that is held up for us. I mean, humans hold them up for one another, and guess what? We're part of nature. And that's kind of the point, right, isn't it? That nature is mirroring for us to remind us over and over again, you're a part of me. Your essence is made of me. The earth herself is constantly mirroring that to us. That the veins of the leaves of the trees are like the veins in our bodies, and the veins in our bodies are like the waterways of the earth, and our bodies themselves are like the rocks and the dirt and the dust and the desert and it's also like fertile soil. and lushness. All of this is when we behold for a moment, when we step back a moment, when we sit and listen to the birds or sit under a tree or walk on the grass barefoot or lie down, whatever it is that we do to immerse ourselves in back to source and back to home base here and back to home base here, it reminds us of our soul. It's soulful. In art in so many ways, I think, does the same thing. I've always felt like nature and art are these beautiful ways that, for me personally, feel like my soul becomes more accessible to me. Can you relate to this? Is this true for you too? Like music, listening to a piece of music, like really listening to a piece of music. And I'm kind of embarrassed to say I haven't done this much since then. It was actually a couple of years ago. I was at a conference. And I was in between sessions. I was feeling tired, and it was just kind of like, a lot of energy. I just traveled and had been busy before that. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to sit here and listen to a piece of music. And to just sit there and listen from beginning to end was so nourishing. Like I listened in a way I wouldn't listen if I had the radio flipped on and I was driving down the road, And so it's that kind of thing. It's like, oh, wow. I got up from 3 minutes of drinking in the music, and I felt so nourished and so reset. And that's what I really want to encourage us to get into today is what makes the garden of my soul lush and alive and fertile and available to me in a way that I can say, this is me. This is a true expression of me, that came here to be this. And there's so many distractions in so many ways that we forget that for lots of reasons, right? And in lots of ways that are, the fan is flamed for our psychological or our emotional well-being or our physical focus or even on our spiritual journey from that angle. And I'm not saying it's a bad angle, it's just a common angle that we focus so much on transcending. And it's not about getting away from. It's through the life, it's through the soul, it's through the body that we experience this aliveness, this sense of beauty, and somebody mentioned beauty, and the breaking open of the heart. These experiences that we have as human beings are so, I don't know what the word is, beautiful, what's that? Full, engaging, thank you. We're doing this talk together. Appreciate the help. So there's also, so music can be lots of things. It can be making music. It can be chanting, singing ourselves, dancing, of course. All of these ways, all the things that music does for us, that it makes us move and comes through us. And the more we create ourselves, I think all the more we get closer to that soul, playing music, creating music, writing your own soul song. Astra had a workshop along those lines not too long ago. And then there's visual art. Anybody remember the book by Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way? Oh, look at all the hands, yes. So it's been a while. It's been a minute since, at least since I've cracked open the cover of The Artist's Way. But I loved how she had the certain exercises, and one of them was to make an artist date with yourself. Now that's a soulful date. That's a soulful experience. That is something that nourishes the soul. Maybe it's going to a museum or a gallery and just wandering around and taking in the art. Every so often when I'm in this space, I just take in David Brooks' art. I wish he was here so I could really honor him. And yesterday we had a Jerry follow-up thing, and people were taking pictures in front of them as the background. And then I was telling them a little bit about what David does and how he reuses, like in this case, vinyl flooring that's just been discarded. He reuses materials, and he creates these beautiful mosaics. Follow the Yellow Brick Road, I think, is one, and something about the rainbow. I don't know, on this one. Is it over the rainbow? I thought it was a little bit different than. Anyway, along those lines. But regardless, I don't want to take us too far afield. Although I do like that you're all beholding the art for a moment, because that's the point, right? To look, maybe you've walked past those a zillion times, but maybe you've never really stopped and said, wow, like I'm seeing different things right now when I'm looking. And that's what happens, right? Oh, I see a star in there that I hadn't seen before. Anyway, so that's maybe what will happen for us, when we allow ourselves to be kind of bathed in the creativity, and something bubbles up for us, and that something is the soul. That something is your own creative expression that gets touched, your own sense of beauty, your own sense of the love of color, and this all brings us closer to the love of life. And that's part of what the soul is doing for us. It's just saying, live, fully, out loud. Experience the wild in your garden. Allow yourself to be nourished in so many different ways. You could take an artist date and go to a cafe and just people watch, or, people watch at the airport. That's always fun. Or just make art. Get out your markers and colored pencils and a blank piece of paper or some paints. And instead of thinking you have to make some kind of beautiful, frameable thing, discard that, right? I always look at Bob because this is what he does, right? He teaches people to paint from the soul, to not worry about the right lines and the right forms, but let the form appear on the paper. Be surprised by what comes. And nourished by the color choices and all of that. It's just doing these things is what brings us back, I think, into this kind of lushness. Words can be soul fulfilling too, can be nourishing too, especially when we approach them in certain ways, like Lectio Divina. Lectio Divina, which is a contemplative Christian practice, is to take a scriptural verse or a poem and read it, but read it slow. And then read it again and really let it sink in. And then read it again. And maybe then from there just go into quiet contemplation or meditation. Or maybe you'll feel inspired then to take up a writing about it and journal. Or write something spontaneously. Or like I sometimes do, write in two different, like a dialogue with two different parts of yourself. When I do that, I use my dominant hand for my mind and my non-dominant hand for, I guess you could say, my soul. And the soul writes more slowly because it's my non-dominant hand, and things come out a little bit scribbly, which feels a little bit more mysterious and unknown to me. So, playing with these things, allowing your soul to play is really kind of the key here of bringing it out and bringing it forward. Storytelling, sitting around a fire with a group of friends, and you start one line, then your friend takes another line, and somebody else takes another line, and weaving a story together. That's super fun. We did that on another play date with a women's backpack where we made a fire at the beach, and we created story together like that. It was amazing what came forward. So it's like collective soul work. That's community, gathering work, That's, I don't know if you know this, but that's how our founders of Unity met. They were both, each separately, guided to go to this community gathering where for Charles the draw was because they were going to talk about Shakespeare and Emerson, people that he had learned and studied their works and was really excited to talk about the ideas that Shakespeare and Emerson bring forth. And Myrtle, I'm not sure what all of her motivation was, but I know that as she was preparing, she decided, I'm going to read a poem tonight at this gathering. And so she liked to write poetry, so she was bringing her poem. And they get to this gathering, and at some point, Myrtle stands up to read her poem, and Charles immediately, for the first time seeing her, he says she starts this poem, and this voice says inside of me, Charles, that's your wife. And so I love the founders of Unity came together in this soulfulness, a soul connection through soulful means, through poetry, through community gathering, through sharing of spiritual ideas. And then they started this pen palship because they lived in different cities. And in that, they realized they had a mutual love of nature, and they were on fire about new spiritual ideas. And it all then became Unity. Out of the expression of soul, out of the experience of soul, out of the allowing the soul to guide us to where we really want to be. How often do you really want to go somewhere or do something? Wow, that sounds really good. That sounds fun. I'd like to go to that dance. I'd like to hear that music. I'd like to go see that exhibit. And then we just get busy, right? It's just like in our culture overall, like if you look at the Educational Institute, the arts are always the last thing to get funded, right? And in a way, we could say then the soul is the last thing to get funded, to get invested in, to get attention. And so it's these things that are worth us fighting for ourselves, for our children, for our world. Because soulful people are people that have come alive. And we want that aliveness, don't we? In the vein of Howard Thurman. So from here, when we think about all these wonderful ways the soul can be lush and the garden can be tended or left wild, but it can satiate us in some way, there are also, and Mirabai mentions this in that quote I started with, that there are times when that garden of your soul feels pretty arid. Anybody experience that? Dry spells, yeah. Times when you don't feel particularly creative, and you definitely don't feel very connected to maybe anyone, but certainly not to spirit. And so it's these times that are really what the dark night of the soul is about. Mirabai taught me this, that she is a translator of Spanish mystics, and St. John of the Cross, St. Teresa of Avila, who were friends, are two of the mystics she translated, and she felt like she talks about this a little bit in the book, how she felt like she got this kind of intimate connection with both of them. And St. John of the Cross is the one who coined the term dark night of the soul. So she said, culturally we use that term to mean, there's some kind of tragedy or difficulty, challenge, trauma that has happened in our lives, and we're having an emotionally difficult time going through it. Is that how you've often heard it expressed? Yeah. But that's not what he meant when he coined the term. St. John of the Cross meant that the dark night of the soul is a spiritually arid time. It's when you're kind of like, what just happened? Like where's my sense of connection and aliveness and inspiration and a feeling of the divine presence being near, or a feeling of aliveness and lushness and soulness? All of a sudden it's like, it's just dry. And so it's that experience that he was pointing to, that he was saying is the dark night of the soul. It could be that it's brought on by some kind of challenge or trauma, or, and it might not. I mean, sometimes that's the most bewildering thing, right? When it just comes because I don't know why, it just is here. And when you're in those spaces, if you have been in those spaces before, has anybody ever been in these spaces? Yeah, okay, good. So when you're in those spaces, maybe it feels like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of this, right? I don't know what happened, and I don't know how to get my mojo back, I don't know how to get back into the wild of my garden, or the lushness of the soul of my garden, or my connection with spirit, or whatever it may be. And what's important is to recognize that this is actually a really powerful time. This is what Mirabai says about it. She says, do not be alarmed when the conditions of your soul seem to dry up. Explore the hidden life beneath the surface and be patient. The rains will come again. Let's read that again. See, let's do a little Lectio Divina on it. Do not be alarmed when the conditions of your soul seem to dry up. Explore the hidden life beneath the surface and be patient. The rains will come again. And do it one more time. Do not be alarmed when the conditions of your soul seem to dry up. Explore the hidden life beneath the surface and be patient. The rains will come again. You notice the difference when you did that 3 times? Yeah. So it's that style of letting it in, right? And when I read that, I get, I really pull forward for myself. Explore the hidden life here. Trust the process. Go ahead and wander in the desert. Jesus wandered in the desert. Moses wandered in the desert. A lot of key figures wandered in the desert and showed us the kind of the walk of the soul that occurs. And often it's for 40-something, 40 days, 40 years. 40 in Hebrew numerology just means as long as it takes. So we could say Jesus wandered in the desert for as long as it took until he felt ready to begin his ministry. And during that time was an arid time, was a time apart, was a time within, was literally a time in the desert, fasting alone. So he wasn't transmitting to people at that time, He wasn't serving, he wasn't teaching, he wasn't giving what it was his to give during that time. And maybe we don't either. Maybe we recognize that when I'm in an arid time, I can just be in an arid time. I don't necessarily have to push myself to get out there in the world, but trust that this will take its journey, it will take its path, And then I will maybe transmit in a much more clear way whatever is mine to share from that space. We all need time apart. We talk about that all the time, right? Taking time apart, maybe starting your morning with some reflection practices and meditation and such. That's the same thing in sort of miniature form in a day of every day, having a little bit of that, a little bit of soulfulness, a little bit of contemplation, reflection, slowing down, and then we're ready to move into our space, into our day. Ask any mystic. Emptiness is not a bad word. Go out in the world and you'll be told in 1,000 different ways to run for your life if you feel empty. Or fill the space as quick as possible with whatever you can, right? Do we know that ethos of the culture? Yeah. But you're the mystics. We are the ordinary mystics walking upon earth. And so we know better. We know emptiness is not a bad word. The New Thought musician Daniel Nahmod, some of you know him. He's been here before. We do some of his music here. And he went on a sabbatical years ago, and he chose to go to the Red Rocks of Utah. So, in that kind of deserty sort of landscape, dry landscape, rocky landscape. And it was there that he ended up writing, actually what is one of my favorite albums. One of the tracks on it is called Empty. But surprisingly, the title of that album in that environment is Water. And a lot of the tracks are about water. It's as if Daniel was in this desert time, in this dry time, or seemingly dry time, and suddenly he tapped something, deep into the veins of the desert. And he talks about like the historical where that was once ocean in many, many, many years ago, in that desert Southwest. But then what comes forward then is this beautiful album about water and emptiness and aridity. It's very soulful. It's my favorite of his albums. And it just reminds me that sometimes maybe those moments are just moments to tell us, dig a little deeper here and let a little more of your soul be excavated during this time, during this arid walk during this desert time. So for me, Daniel's album is a transmission. To transmit just means to carry from place to place, or to person, to pass from person to person, or being to being. Transmit is to radiate out, or to give, or to send in a laser kind of way, And I feel like that's, for me, that's sort of a soul to soul. Like I feel like, oh yeah, that's really transmitted to my soul. I receive that. And we can think of lots of ways, we're touched by certain people or things or creative expressions or moments. It's a receiving of a transmission. Classically in spirituality, we use that term to talk about what the guru gives to the student, right? That's through history. That's the way a transmission is, that's for the guru. The guru transmits knowledge. The guru transmits wisdom, or transmits love, or energy, or a blessing. In Hinduism, darshan, you behold the deity and the deity blesses you. And so it's got this kind of mystique around it that says, oh no, transmission isn't something I do. But let's remember, we are ordinary mystics, and we do, in fact. In fact, you transmit all the time. And so what are you transmitting? And is it what you want to be transmitting? What's the energy you carry from place to place? Or what is it that you give to other people when you walk upon the earth? What if your soul is really buried and you really don't have much connection to that, then probably that transmission is maybe going to have a little bit of sense of hollowness to it. But if your soul is present for you and you're coming from that place of the truth of who I am and a little sense of purpose in what I'm bringing forth, then there is a meeting of that, a receiving of that, a sort of a wow or a sense of wonder or awe or inspiration or movement for the receiver. And then, of course, we know how that works. When we give, we receive, right? So that's for you, too. There's another shot of vitality. It's like, wow, that which I created is touching somebody. That which I spoke is touching somebody, is making a difference. That's your transmission. So you might be transmitting energy or inspiration, or at any given time, it could take all kinds of forms. You might cook a meal or tend a garden, or bless someone, or pray for someone, or smile at somebody, or encourage somebody, or share a few words of wisdom maybe to someone younger or somebody younger to you. It's that. Isn't that why we're here? I mean, isn't it those moments of connection, of what we say with, eyes of the soul, when we really connect and look into somebody's eyes, or we feel each other's hearts, or we behold the creative expression of somebody, we have a sense of who they are because they know who they are, because they have a sense of who they are. They're connected to that true space. I'm always amazed at the idea, because there's now something like 8 billion of us or something like that on the planet, that we are all unique. And it's just it doesn't matter how big we get, we're always going to be all unique because we are unique soul expressions. And so I know I've said this before, but it feels like my clarion call, there's a void in the universe when we don't get to see our soul. And so I long to have the transmission of all of your souls. And I think you probably long to transmit and to have the transmission of the souls in your own life, right? Or all beings, all sentient beings. Why not? We might as well just turn it up and bring it all on. But what a beautiful tapestry we are of diverse expressions when we put it all together. Our oneness, that's the spiritual thing. But our diversity that springs forth from that in unique ways, that's our souls. And that's really, I believe, the heart of this ordinary mysticism work, is to get to that, is to recognize that, and to give over to it. And to remember, what Jesus said, you're the light of the world, which is pretty big, right? Feels very spiritual and powerful. And you're the salt of the earth. And both are true. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. So we know what goes with that scripture, right? Don't hide your light under a bushel basket or anything else for that matter. Because you're here to transmit it. You're here to radiate it out. You're here to emanate in a way that only you can. It's not just for gurus. It's for all of us, ordinary mystics. So I want to invite us to affirm this, and it's a simple affirmation today so we can remember it and live it and repeat it to ourselves throughout the week and come back around again and again to the garden of our own souls. So I invite you to say it with me. I tend my soul and transmit light. Let's say it one more time. I tend my soul and transmit light. And finally, with lots of feeling, I tend my soul and transmit light. So it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Kristen, for bringing up our ordinary mysticism that we can revisit. And just so thrilled to know that my soul has lusciousness. Lusciousness is how you say it? I'm going to play with that because I'm done being arid. I want to be more lush. And I can be more lush. Thank you.
It's okay.
It's okay, yeah. It's okay for that too, yes. Our prayer chaplains are available after the service to provide personal prayer support. If you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains wear the purple stoles.
And whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with the prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intention raised up in consciousness.
Yes, thank you for serving today. Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. Yay. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation, and we know what that is, right? As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
And for your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. Shown on the screen in front of you, for those of you who are watching online, there's a donate button on the Watch Live page. We encourage everyone to set up a regular and automatic giving to Unity using their bank's free pay bill service.
Thank you. So I invite you to take your tithes, your offering, your good blessings, the lushness of your spirit, and to move it throughout the community in your hand and in your heart. And repeat our affirmation with me. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. So it is. Thank you.
I expand in abundance. I expand in success. I expand in love.
feeling expanded? Perfect prosperity song. I feel it expanding as we are. Oh, thank you, each of you as givers, not just to this community, to your own souls, to your own expression, to the world by doing so, transmitting your love, your light, your truth, your inspiration. And these physical gifts are representations of that good, of that prosperity, of those gifts. So we bless them to know that when we bless them, they indeed expand, they multiply. So let's bless it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is.
All right, kids. We are a circle of love. We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. 'Cause the light in you and the light in me are one. 'Cause the light in you and the light in me are one.
Good morning. So today we played a game called Pass the Frog and Pass the Bird. There is also a bake sale and a pumpkin sale going on over there. So after the service, you can go ahead and get over and you can get your things. Oh, and by the way, it's a love donation. So, yeah.
I'm wondering what that tiger did when the bird came around.
Uniteens, do you want to share? Anyone want to share today? River, great, thank you.
So today we we pushed out little pumpkin things and then we turned them into that. And we writ things we were thankful for on them. So I'm forcing you all to do this, just so you know. We're gonna name one thing that we writ down on our pumpkins, so.
No.
Okay, fine, okay, you go.
Family.
Nature.
Friends. Food. Sports.
Yes, that's what, yeah.
Thank you so much. That's all we got. Come see us at the table.
We want to bless you first. Is that all right, Elliot? All right, let's warm up our hands and give this wonderful group lots of love. Together. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you.
Yes, all right. So please rise in body or spirit. Join us in our closing song. You can take this in through your heart. You can hold hands, whatever works for you. Here we go. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. And all
and the light and the soul on earth right now. So let your light shine, have fun, and spread joy.